with 15
Last week we
seconds.
played our first rivalry game in the series, and it came down to the wire. But Delaware was able to pull it out with 12 seconds, scoring the game-winning touchdown to take down the James Madison Dukes, as a failed Hail Mary attempt was not on the cards for JMU. We get victorious, but now it's time to prove that we belong. Yes, we got the win in the last episode, but now it's time to start where the season really matters. Conference play for a Delaware squad looking to make it to their first Conference USA Championship game. Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Rob. Hope you guys have enjoyed year number 3 thus far. We're 2-1, and today we meet our first conference opponent at the also 2-1 Liberty Flames. Hope you guys are ready for this one. If you are and you've enjoyed the series, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. Last week we finally got the big game out of Daryl Cole, showing why he is the starting quarterback after a slow start to the season. And we're playing Liberty today, who beat their rivals as well last week, 28-20. They followed a very much a similar sort of season thus far that we have. Rodney Tisdale Jr. is the quarterback. The redshirt junior, the Western Kentucky transfer, has played pretty good. But they're going to lean on their sophomore, Jalen Coleman, probably a lot. Through 3 games, he's already got 5 touchdowns this season, averaging over 6 yards a carry. If we shut him down, we should be able to beat the Flames. But it's time for college football action here in Lynchburg, Virginia. Conference play starts off for these 2 teams today. And you know both of them would love to start their campaigns with victory. Last year these teams met. It was Delaware who was victorious, 34-21. But a new season, new rosters for both teams, and new expectations are on the line. So let's get into it here. As we get into the 4th game of the season, we are underway. It'll be Delaware starting off with the football. This one will go out of the end zone. And we'll take a look at the Delaware offense first that led that game-winning drive. They started off good last week, faltered in the second half, but were able to pull it out. We'll see how they start here today. They'll be at their own 25-yard line. The first play will be a carry to Tyrone Browning, the Texas State transfer, who's been amazing thus far for Delaware. He gets 11 on his first run. Next play is a play action here. Cole drops back to throw, has time, and he can't find Gash. Overthrows everybody there. 2nd and 10 now. They're going to go back to the ground. Here's McConomy getting his first carry. You'll see him also get a lot of touches. He had 10 for 31 and a touchdown last week against the Dukes. 3rd and 2, they trust him on the ground, and he won't get it. Stopped by Ross McCaleb, the true freshman 3-star from Windsor, Connecticut. And the Blue Hens will punt on their first possession, bringing out the Liberty offense, led by the sophomore halfback Jalen Coleman. To start with him, actually not on the field, would be Evan Dickens getting the first carry. The senior cuts up field. He has 111 yards this season, gains 3, and you'll see Liberty also go a lot of no huddle. So they're going to start off with their best player not on the field. Interesting call here, as Dickens is then going to lose 5 yards on the outside run. Now a 3rd and 12. Here comes the heat. There's a one-man unblocked, and it's a sack, fumble, and it's picked up by the Blue Hens. McAllister gets back there. Collette will pick it up. And then now Delaware set up nicely. Goal to go from about the 10-yard line. Here comes a blitz from Liberty on the first play, and is countered with a quick throw to Novell Dean, who has himself a touchdown. The Kennesaw State transfer will be the first to score for Delaware, instantly capitalizing off the turnover, and it's 7-0. Back to the Liberty's offense. They go play fake here. It's 2nd and 10. Nice throw. It's actually dropped, though. Play wouldn't have mattered anyway. There's a holding call on number 72. That is the left tackle, Brandon Odozie. So that will back them up. The penalty will be accepted, making it 2nd and 20. Now it's a 3rd and 20 after an incomplete pass. Everybody going out for a pass, and Tisdale just checks it down short. This one's caught by Dexter Vidal, but nowhere to go, and that'll be a punt for the Flames. 3rd and 6 quickly here for Delaware on their next possession. Cole to the air, trying to convert, and he's going to find Forney, the tight end, with a nice throw down to the 31-yard line. Cole already 26 yards and a touchdown on 2 for 3 passing. Faces another 3rd down here. This time they call a QB draw. Cole then tries to keep it, but he only gains 5. And a 4th and 3, Delaware will take the points, and they now lead 10-0. Liberty's offense has been very cold to start today. They're looking for something here on 1st and 10. The big play, but it's not there. Sacked down, and unfortunately, even Smalls has to come off the field. It was Jordan Farah, though, with the sack. Smalls would be okay. He'll miss a little bit of this drive. is now on 3rd and 5, airing it deep, and this one's incomplete. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Delaware all over the Flames early, 10-0, forcing a turnover. You can see the offensive disparity here. Only 11 yards of offense for the Flames through the first quarter of the game. Fortunately for them, though, they're forcing a punt to begin the second quarter, as this one will go out the back of the end zone. They'll take possession once more from the 20. They get it out to the 32 and face another 3rd and 9. Another free rusher, but this time Tisdale counters with a nice throw at the middle. They're going to lose their starting tight end to an injury. Another 3rd down here for the Flames. Tisdale again to the air. Only a 3-man rush. Has all day to throw, and he's going to find the target. That's caught by Jamie Mandarino, who's already back on the field. Now out to the 37, best drive of the day for the Flames. Play action here on 1st down. Only a 3-man rush again. Tisdale just lobs this one down the left side, and he's intercepted. Picked off by Kingsley Royal. The captain of the defense comes down with one. He's been with the team since the beginning. He's on a roller coaster ride, but he's had a great past year and a half. So he gets the big INT. Delaware is able to push it to the 36. Is on 1st down. This one is incomplete. Nice hit by the corner, Jaquavius Marshall, to free that one. 2nd and 10 now. Cole back to the air. It's a simple drag route for Browning, who gets some nice space to run after the catch, and he's out at the 4-yard line. Beautiful catch and run for Browning, who you'll also see line up in the slot plenty today. Here's McConomy getting the carry on 1st and goal. Cuts upfield. Beautiful vision. Finds the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Hens, as they extend their lead. Now 17-0. It's been all Delaware early. Another drive for the Flames. Another 3rd down. 3rd and 6 now. 4-man rush. Tisdale lobs this one deep once more in single coverage, but it's knocked away. And Liberty just can't get anything going. Another punt. Back to Delaware we go. 1st down, play fake. Cole rolls to his left, eyes downfield. He's just going to tuck and run, and he picks up 6 with his legs. 7 runs, 49 yards for the sophomore transfer from South Carolina. 3rd and 6 now. Cole pump fakes, and he's going to be sacked. Held on to the ball a little too long. Ross McCaleb, the freshman, again making an effort. We go to the 2-minute warning. Liberty, though, 2nd and goal, so they're having their best drive of the game, but now they face a 3rd and goal from the 6. You know they would love a touchdown here. They're going to trust the air with it. It's single covers to the left side, and a beautiful run and a beautiful throw to Raheem Shabazz with his 2nd touchdown of the season. And with that score, that'll take us to the half, where Delaware leads this one 17-7. It's been all Blue Hens until that last drive. Liberty able to put one together, and they will only trail by 10 going into the second half. And they do get the football to begin that frame. Overall, it's been pretty solid for Delaware. Good run defense. The pass game for the Flames did get going, though, towards the end of that quarter, and they've been able to get a touchdown, so we'll see if they lean on that going into the second half. Back from intermission here, 17-7 is your score. But Liberty back with the football, and they're going play fake early. Tisdale fires. He's got a wide open tight end. It's Mandarino again, who only had 4 catches coming into this game. And Liberty seems to be finding their mojo in the passing game. 1st down, they're going to trust the throw again. Tisdale doesn't like what he sees, and he has a ton of green grass in front of him. He's down at the 37 of the Blue Hens. So a good drive here again. Now they go back to the ground. It's Dickens again. We have not seen much Coleman today, surprisingly, leading more on the senior halfback, but he gets a 1st down. Out to the 26 now. Play action again. Tisdale feeling some pressure, just dumps it off short, and it's a gain of about 2. And the no-huddle offense will continue. 4-man rush this time. Tisdale to the air with 5 men in the pattern. Finds a drag route. It's high, but it's caught by Shabazz. And he's inside the 15. And now Delaware's defense starting to look like they're playing off the back foot. It's a red zone trip for the Flames. Here comes a heavy pressure, but it's an unblocked man. It's Alexander again. It's picked up, though, by the Flames after the ball was put on the ground. And they lose another lineman in Brett Yoder. Makai Alexander with a sack. Now it's 3rd and 16. As Tisdale wants to find something downfield. Can't. This ball's incomplete. There's a flag down. But it's not going to matter. Liberty will just kick the 3. So 17-10. All of a sudden, this is a 1-score game. Delaware's offense has got to get off to a hot start here. As there's a nice run by McConomy. 10 carries, 58 yards for him today. Out to the 44 now. He's going to hand it off to Browning, and he's stopped quickly Nice play there by Javion Keshavarren with the stop. 2nd and 10. It's a play fake. Cole pressure in his face. Can't get the ball to his receiver. It's almost intercepted by a lineman. Luckily, that one's incomplete, but now it's a 3rd and 10. Cole back to the air again. Wants to run with it, and he's only going to gain a few. That's a punt for the Blue Hens, so Liberty gets the football back with a chance to tie this game up. But on 3rd and 5, Alexander Cobbs is going to bring down the quarterback, and that will end that drive. So back to Delaware we go. Now they are at the 41 of Liberty. With an outside give to Oliver Red, who will also get some snaps, and he gains 4 up the middle. Now a 3rd and 6 for the Hens. Not in field goal range yet. This one caught by Dean. Not sure how that one's not intercepted. 3 catches, 30 yards, and a touchdown for him today. And this drive stays alive. 1st down. How about the speed option game? Out to Red, who tries to go airborne, puts the ball on the ground, and luckily for us, it rolls out of bounds. It was all R.J. Miles with the hit. 2nd and 5. Another drag route. Here's Vitko with it. Nice 1st down. And this is the best drive we've seen out of Delaware in the 2nd half. Out to the 13 of the Flames. Cole back to the air on 1st down. Tucks it, runs, and he's actually going to be sacked. They're going to give credit to Eddie Mullins, the South Alabama transfer, with a sack for a loss of maybe half a yard. 3rd and 14 now here for the Hens. Cole in the pocket. Plenty of time. Finds Gash for a gain of 10. 4th and 4 now. A lot more manageable. Delaware's going to go for it. Instead of kicking the 3 and going up by 2 scores, they want more, and they will get it. So the gamble pays off. Browning gets the 1st. And now it's goal to go from the 1. Coach Rob getting aggressive today. And then Cole will punch it in himself. Hey, there's a late hit there. Not going to be called, but touchdown Hens as they extend their lead back up by 14 points as we go into the 4th quarter of play. Delaware leads this one 24-10. You can see the difference between the two teams. Delaware dominating the time of possession, dominating the ground game. 225 yards rushing for Delaware compared to Liberty's 6-7 rushing yards. The Flames will begin the 4th quarter at their own 45-yard line here, as Tisdale will be tasked with leading this comeback. He throws it short for Mandarino. 5 catches, 55 yards. That's already over how many he had coming into the game. 2nd and 3, handoff. Here's Jalen Coleman finally getting involved, the impact halfback with a 1st down. You can see what he can do with the football. Averaging 6.1 yards per carry coming into this game, and they haven't leaned on him at all. 1st and 10. Now Tisdale's going to run for it. He picks up 7 before sliding down. 2nd and 3, back to Coleman. Big gain up the middle, and he's going to fall forward to the 24. And the no-huddle offense will continue. Another handoff. This time he's quickly wrapped up, and Courtney Weaver is hurt on the play for Delaware. 3rd and 3 now. Tisdale to the air, facing pressure. Gets away from it, lobs it to the back of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Royal almost came down with his 2nd. And Liberty will just kick the field goal. Not sure if I agree with that one. You stay down 2 scores as it's 24-13. This ball goes back to Delaware, and Cole completely airmails the short pass. Now he faces a 3rd and 6. Cole drops back to throw. Pressure in his face, and he can't get away. Sacked down. And Darryl Cole actually comes up a little bit hurt on the play. Then he would come out of the ball game. So Liberty with a chance to capitalize here. Down by 11 with a nice run by Dickens. As Cole will be very questionable to return to this game. 2nd and 10 now. Tisdale to the air. This one's short. Very short for Vidal. And the sophomore gains 5. Now a 3rd and 5. 5 men in the pattern. Another quick pass. It's caught again by Mandarino. It's 2 yards shy. And Liberty will kick the field goal here. A 52-yarder. It's 4th and 2. I would go for this one. The sophomore Willis gives it an effort, but it's off the upright and no good. So Liberty comes away with no points here. Very questionable and conservative play calling as it goes back to Delaware. And now you can see Nwanu is taken over at the quarterback position, airing it out on 2nd down. 3rd and 10, they hand it off to Browning, and he's quickly stopped, and Liberty will get the football back, as there was no Cole in the game on that drive. Something to keep an eye out for. 1st and 10 now here for Liberty at their own side of the field. This one's caught, but it's not going to matter. There's going to be a holding call on Austin Anderson. Liberty's offensive line has really struggled today, either giving up sacks or giving up holding calls. It's now a 1st and 20. As pressure in the face of Tisdale. There's a flag down. He's intercepted. This is Taekwon Kennedy, the wide receiver, who had the game-winning touchdown last week. Not sure why he's on the field, but he comes away with an interception. It's a holding call. It's not going to matter. And with that interception, Delaware seems poised to win this game as we're at the 2-minute warning. Liberty's already used their timeouts. And Delaware, though, they take a knee, but this one's not over yet. 2nd and goal. Now they hand it off to Red. Interesting that you knee it first. And now on 3rd and goal, after a stop, they're going to knee it again, and they will just be able to get it inside the 40-second mark. And that'll do it for this game. Gideon Nguanu will knee it out for the Delaware Blue Hens, and they win 24-13 is your final. And start off conference play 1-0. Good game for the Blue Hens. I thought the defense played pretty good overall, forcing 3 turnovers in this game. Cole played well, and that's a good sign right there. He's walking out to midfield. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be an injury that keeps him out, but this sack right here is what took him out of the game. I'll have to check the injury report to see if Cole is on it going forward, because that could be an interesting development for the Blue Hens. But today they get to celebrate as they start off conference play 1-0. Solid game overall. As Tisdale, he threw the ball a lot, played all right in my opinion. But again, I just thought Liberty did not lean on Jalen Coleman enough. Dickens actually got more snaps and more carries than he did, ironically enough. On the offense, Cole did enough, 15 for 25, 60% and a touchdown. The ground game was really good. That's been the staple of this offense. Offensive line was a little shaky, but they got the job done, and the defense played really well. So we checked the injury report after this game. Darryl Cole is not on it, but instead, Trevard Luck, our starting left guard, is out for the season with a torn pec. That's a huge blow to this offensive line that's not very deep to begin with. And now we're going to lose our starting left guard who came over in the transfer portal from Coastal Carolina. So we'll have to see how that changes up things for the Blue Hens. But let's take a look at the top stories first coming out of the week. Florida beats LSU on the road. The defending champs off to a good start. South Carolina upsets Tennessee despite a good game from Boo Carter. And now the Gamecocks got to play the Longhorns next week. The SEC is brutal. Georgia also defeats Ole Miss in overtime, though. Other scores from Week 4, Texas State starts off by beating Ohio. UConn over Old Dominion. We see Eastern Michigan on the road beat Georgia Southern. West Virginia takes care of Arizona State. They're 2-0 in the Big 12. SMU knocks off Virginia Tech. Georgia Tech dominates Wake Forest to begin 2-0 in ACC play. Georgia State squeaks by Troy. Syracuse knocks off Appalachian State, traveling to Boone for that game. The Mountaineers are 0-4. Maryland dominates Northwestern. We see Tulane get a nice victory against San Jose State. We saw the Florida score 10-7, a low-scoring affair against LSU. Washington State beats Western Michigan. UCLA squeaks by Purdue 20-16. And then Vanderbilt beats Missouri on the road 17-10. Good win for the Commodores. Georgia, yes, needed overtime to beat Ole Miss, but they hang on to that number 1 spot. Nevada blanks Coastal this week 41-0. Nebraska also dominates Northern Illinois. We see Rutgers get a victory over Indiana. Arizona in a shootout in typical Big 12 fashion will beat Oklahoma State 46-44. South Alabama squeaks by Louisiana Tech 27-24. And then we see Utah with a Big 12 victory over Texas Tech, and we could say the same for Colorado, 30-17 over Iowa State. Alabama puts up 49 to beat Mississippi State. The Crimson Tide, the second best team in the country. Miami over Arkansas State, 31-7. Boston College puts up 52 on Virginia this week. Rice knocks off North Texas on the road, 35-14. TCU beats Sam Houston State, who we'll see next week, 41-10. Then we see Minnesota upset Ohio State 45-44. Biggest win of the week goes to the Golden Gophers, squeaking by the Buckeyes. Louisville then beats Duke. The national champion runner-ups are now 2-2 and have very little room for error. Navy goes down at home to Florida Atlantic. BYU over Oregon State. Cal knocks off East Carolina. And then we see Fresno State 21-17 on the road beats Washington. A big win for the Bulldogs. FIU continues to look like the team to beat. They dominate Jacksonville State 38-13. Yes, they're 2-3, but when it comes down to Conference USA time, the Panthers always seem to turn it up. South Carolina beats Tennessee 38-35. That was the game of the week. And then Notre Dame blasts Utah State at home. Texas on the road will beat Texas A&M 35-28. USC clips Wisconsin this week by 3. Central Michigan by a point victory over Akron. Cincinnati only beats Kansas State by 2. Auburn on the road will beat Arkansas 37-17. Clemson gets it done against Stanford in a cross-country conference matchup. Kentucky goes to Norman and beats Oklahoma by 2. Big win for the Wildcats. Oregon will put up 58 on Iowa. And we round out the week with San Diego State getting the upset at home against Illinois 27-24. Players of the week, Jordan Shaw of Utah had 2 interceptions, including a pick 6, and Matt Chadwick of Pittsburgh threw for 4 touchdowns and added 2 more on the ground. Your Conference USA Players of the Week are Navon Barrett of Missouri State and Bradell Richardson of FIU. Here's a look at the new rankings. Not much change at the top. Nobody lost, but we do see UCLA and Miami go down a couple spots. And South Carolina's jumped up to number 4, with all 4 of the top spots housing SEC schools. So they continue to dominate the top of the rankings, and a couple of teams get in at the bottom. Houston, Penn State, North Carolina, and Hawaii will all join the top 25 party, with the last 2 still being undefeated. Your big games in week number 5, South Carolina, Texas. The grind doesn't stop for the Gamecocks. Cal, off their win, will host Louisville, who beat Duke last week. And then Houston plays host to Colorado in the Big 12. And then number 3, Florida, will host Arkansas, who's looking to bounce back after losing to Auburn last week. We'll hit the road this week to face Sam Houston State as we'll continue our conference grind. They are 1-3 on the season, but they did win their first conference game of the year. Sam Houston, though, I think they project to be one of the bottom halves of the conference, so this should be a team that we can go in and take care of. But they are another team that does go no huddle, likes to push the pace, and sometimes that chaos can prove to be a problem for Delaware, so we'll see how they handle that in the next episode. But thank you guys so much for watching this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. We got the win in our first conference game of the season, but now it's time to keep pushing for that. That's how you make a statement to begin year number 3 in the conference, but now we got to keep that momentum and see if we can do it in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have been rocking with the Dynasty thus far. If you have, make sure you drop a like and you sub, because the next game, hopefully, we can pick up another victory. Now, that's going to do it for us in this one. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.